Do you miss when anime could be cool and edgy? You know, in the 2000s we got shows like Soul Eater, hard, Death Note, hard, Tokyo Ghoul, hard, Cowboy Bebop, made me hard. Anyway, the renaissance of truly tough anime is back with Gachiakuta, an anime manga series where every frame, every panel feels like graffiti at a grunge fest. So yeah, what exactly is a Gachiakuta?
That's my character. I'm the trash man.
Gachiakuta takes place in a world not too different from our own, with three main realms of society. At the top you have the sphere, the upper class of society, where the Spherites, yes they do have slurs for realm on realm conflicts, fair play for realism buddy. These Spherites see themselves as above the other realms and therefore are willing to throw all of their trash and waste to the third realm, the pit. The ground of the world is covered with pure trash that could even manifest itself into these utterly disgusting garbage trash creatures. Then in between the two we have a very mysterious realm known as the border. It is more or less what I thought the Bermuda Triangle was as a toddler, just creepy and spooky and all that type of stuff. Rudo, our main character, was born in the slums of the sphere where any descendant of a criminal is forced to abide in. These slumlords must stay in this area in order to keep the sanctity and class of the nicer area of town. Though Rudo isn't much of a fan of these richer people, as he basically goes full Robin Hood, stealing from the rich to give to the girl he thinks is hot. Rudo isn't a fan of the rich because they're wasteful and he feels bad for items they toss out. So despite Rudo's punk exterior, he seems to be a pretty good fella on the interior. So you know, we got a little moral debate. Let's see why the rich don't like the slummies. Oh dearest, these poor folk just smell so stinky and their clothes, oh, they just aren't as dapper as us. I'm not even being bad faith, that's pretty much their argument. Oh look, Rudo's got a father figure, and if you've watched anime, I think you know this poor bastard has a death sentence printed on the first page of the storyboard. So how about you drop your guess of how many pages it takes before the geezer kicks the bucket? Wow. 21? That might be an all-time record, huh? Anyway, because of the circumstances, I think it's safe to assume that this creepy-looking fellow with the devilish-looking book did it. I know detectives visually profiling people is bad and all, but like, come on buddy, what are we doing here? The most surprising part is how fast the cops actually came. I mean, they must have been pre-called or something, but that's just a little theory I got. So as I mentioned earlier, the slums are meant for sons of criminals. It isn't a place for true honest to goodness thugs, so they toss our buddy Rudo off the sphere and into the realms below. Then we get one of the coldest page turns I have genuinely ever seen in manga. Urana, the author, completely inverts the colors and we're greeted with a dark and scary full black page. This is that Soul Eater influence right there, I'm telling you buddy. In the lands below are trash monsters and this group of really dripped out dudes called cleaners, who are basically the fire force of the underworld. Then this guy Engine shows up, man's got that mentor drip, and he senses Rudo's got that main character aura, like the hair wasn't already a giveaway. So he takes him in to show him the ropes. Super rapid fire. People down here suck sometimes, just like the sphere, but that doesn't mean everybody sucks. Also, hey, Rudo, you're a giver, which means you can imbue objects you deem as important with magical powers to make them super cool weapons. We got the sick stick, an umbrella, and some scissors, so you know the power system is pretty creative. Catch me with my power imbued dirty socks. Things might get a little wicked, buddy. Also here's our receptionist, and she is an absolute bomb. This lady's reading Playboy. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. Next, we get to break down the characters because you and I both know that characters are what salt is for cooking. Buddy, you need it. I could watch a show with Tokyo Revengers writing, Isekai 9000 concept, Record of Ragnarok animation, but if it's got a Sanji, a Kenpachi, a Yusuke, a Blackstar, I'd be picking up my bootstraps going to war on Twitter for that series every day. And boy, does Gachiakuta have some heavy hitters. We got our main character Rudo, who isn't really your typical shonen fella. In my mind, there's three main archetypes. You got your Dekus, your Gokus, and your Yujis. Rudo is quite interesting because it's just hard to get a read on him. One chapter he's monologuing about feeling completely void as a person, and next he'll be looking like Luffy after he just defeated the big bad of the arc. I just think this character is really interesting and not something you often see. Rudo's got layers, but not in that crybaby trauma dump type of way. He's more like a, yeah, I'm broken, but let me fix something anyway. Bro, that's why he's the trash man. He sees himself as the trash. That's just tough. Though from what I've read, my main fella right now is Zanka. I'll be honest, I'm usually not a fan of the quirky guys. I'll weed that type. At the end of the day, I like the average Joes, who want to do the best they can in the circumstances they're given. To explain the character in anime terms, he's like if we combine Moomin Rider with Blackstar, you know, just absolute cinema. Buddy, I haven't even mentioned that Zanka is a participant in one of the greatest early fights I've ever seen in my life. Bro, I've known this guy for like 90 minutes and I'm lying in my bed sweating for this guy. That's not normal. That's That's real writing, honest to goodness real writing. Anyway, because of the power system, the fights are sort of forced to be interesting. In Gachiakuta, you don't have your katanas to fall back on, but instead you got your grabber tools and garden hoses. There's this fight where he's in a position where he can't walk, and his ally Rudo has an ability to move anyone attacking him. So they come up with a genius plan where Zanka attacks Rudo to move him into range, and it's just so hype. Like, it's an even more creative version of Law's Shambles or Toto's Boogie Woogie. Buddy, I love it. The characters are smart and creative. This is what I'm talking about. Though what shocked me the most is how funny this show is. Like Urana, having been influenced by Atsushi Okubo, I was expecting nosebleed nonsense and my goats falling into big breasts, but Gachiakuta actually got a solid chuckle out of me. There's just one bit between Zanka and Rudo where Rudo is accused of stealing his lovely assist staff, which in itself is a great pun, but anyway, Rudo is thinking to mediate the situation while being rational. And it just works until Buddy flashes the guns and shows his utterly creepy smile. And just the character gags like Zanka getting all ushy gushy when Engine compliments him, or TMZ accidentally breaking the fourth wall. It gives you a little chuckle, but nothing over the top, you know. Just solid physical comedy. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the art style. There's just something special about all the sharp, jagged lines, and the characters have drip, and they genuinely look unique. Bro, we got a buzzed up black lady without menstrual show lips, like. Shoutout Urana, this is some groundbreaking stuff. And regarding the animation is just something special to me. The moment where Rudo gets whipped off the cliff and we cut to the CTV type footage, my jaw literally smacked the ground. And to be honest, I don't mind the CG because I wasn't really expecting these sweatshop workers animators to be forced to draw these monsters. If Kid gets the pass, so do these guys. And the dub's pretty good. I mean, same day drop, that's...
Dude crashed out and went on a murder spree.
Gachiakuta has some real potential, man. If you're tired of cookie cutter isekai and want something with a little edge, give it a shot. And hey, drop a sub. I'm trying to find more anime like this so you don't have to dig through literal trash, even though that is actually the name of the series. See ya.